Hey everyone, it's Erica. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video for Buttons Galore and More, and I'm going to be using this sequin mix called Mixed Berry. Also going to be using the Happiness collection from Cocoa Vanilla Studio, and then a cut file from Paige Evans. I'll leave everything linked down below for you guys, so if you're interested in anything that I'm using, you can check it out. This sequins mix is a perfect match with this collection, and I know I've said it before, but I really love the way that it goes together. So I'm going to start out by backing the cut file with the papers in this collection. I cut the file out twice. One, I did the sectioned heart where I can back the paper, and then the second is the outline of the full heart. That way I can stick the sequins down to that piece of paper. And then once I have the sectioned heart backed, and then the full heart with all the sequins on it, I will adhere the two together. So it was really easy to do, and I'm just using this Nuvo adhesive to get the papers stuck down, and I'm gonna go through and do this really fast so that you guys can see my process of backing this cut file. To adhere the sequins, I'm going to be using the Glue Dots Micro Dots. I really like using these with sequins and smaller embellishments like this. They hold really well, the sequins stay in place, and it's not as messy as using wet glue. The wet glue does add a little bit more weight to the paper, especially with all the sequins that I use, so I thought the Micro Dots would be the best option. So if you have never tried the Micro Dots or the Glue Dots with the sequins, I'll leave them linked down below so you guys can check out. They're not very expensive at all, and I just love how clean and easy they are to use with the smaller embellishments. So I'm just going to continue to back this cut file, just going through the different papers that I have. This collection is part of a kit from Click Kits, and then also it is part, I did purchase some of it from my little scrapbook store, so I will leave them linked both down below. I know Click Kits might still have some of the Cocoa Vanilla left, and then my little scrapbook store as well. So I'll leave them both linked down below so that you guys can check out. I just ended up mixing mixing the Click Kit and the purchase from my little scrapbook store together, just to make it easier for me to store everything. So here I am doing the sequins on the heart and using the little micro dots to stick them down. I'm only going to do a few here on camera, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished here in just a second. So I'm just going through and adding them, filling in all the little white space. I traced the area that I needed to fill in, and I will do that for all three sections of the heart that's open. Really simple, really fun, just adds a different kind of texture to the layout. And the micro dots make it really easy and quick just to get this done. So here is my heart with all of the sequins, and I'm just going to adhere these two together, and I'm going to use my Eileen's clear tacky glue to get this stuck down. This works really well with his sequins and buttons and things like that. It's really strong, so I decided that I would use this one on the cut file to stick these two pieces together. I did have a few sequins that were poking out when I stuck these together, so I just took my Tim Holtz scissors and trimmed those down, and it worked out perfectly. So I did let this sit for just a little bit so that it could dry, and I was having some trouble up here at the top, and I ended up just placing a jar of buttons at the top so that they would stick down, so it would stick down really well, and that worked out. So I'm going to come back, it's all dry and ready to go. Here's my white cardstock, and I'm going to add a little bit of color behind the heart. So I'm going to pull out my Catherine Pooler inks, and I have all that jazz, and then Party Dress. So I'm just going to add some ink to this ink block. Add a couple squirts of water, get a paintbrush, and then let the color just dribble onto the white cardstock. Take some packaging and kind of smush that around. Then I'll take the paintbrush and then add a few flickers of color. So I'm going to do that with both the colors, the All That Jazz and then the Party Dress. And I didn't prep the cardstock or anything. It's just normal white cardstock. It's not a whole lot of color, so the paper doesn't warp or anything. If you were going to use a lot of color, then I would suggest adding a white gesso or a clear gesso so that your paper didn't tear or warp or anything like that. So here's the party dress. I'm just gonna do the same technique here. I'm just gonna let the color fall on to the paper from the block and then go back in with some splatters, and then I will kind of wipe it up with a napkin just to absorb some of the liquid. Once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and add some foam adhesive behind this heart. And the foam adhesive is just like the backing left from poking out all of the foam circles. I always save these because I can use these on bigger files like this. And then I'll go ahead and get this stuck down, and then I will start to add my photo and then embellish the layout. So you can see the color kind of poking out. It did get covered up mostly by the cut file, but I still like that there's some poking out around the heart. So here are all the die cuts, and the photo that I'm going to be using is of my son Eli. He was passed out on our recliner, and our pit bull Lola loves to cuddle, and she's got no idea what personal space is. So she just crawled right up on his back and snuggled up on top of him and laid there like forever. She slept. She was so comfy. It was the cutest thing ever. So I snapped a couple photos, printed them in black and white, and I just love this photo because she's just so sweet. Like, she's just the sweetest little dog ever. Love her. And she does this a lot. She loves to cuddle. She gets on the kids and just wants to sleep and snuggle with them. So I'm just going to add die cuts all around here. Get the placement going. I was going to just embellish this one corner where the photo is, and then I decided that I was going to embellish different sections of the heart and add different florals and things poking out. So I'm just finding different florals that I want to use. I have some tags here that I'm going to stick behind the photo, and I'll also do a tab from the sticker sheet as well. Adding some of these florals here in the, it's kind of like an orangish color. So I want to bring in some of that because that is a color that is on one of the pattern papers. So I kind of want to bring that out in the florals. Going to pull this tab and stick this also behind the photo next to this, what is that thing called? A tag. So I have a tag back there, and then I'm going to add one of the little labels at the top, and then I'll also add a word sticker to that label as well. I did pull the wood veneers as well. Those came in the Click Kit. I'm going to add a couple wood veneers to my layout as well. I always struggle with wood veneers. I always pull them out and then I don't end up using them, but I did end up using some on this layout. So just kind of tucking things in and getting things situated. I love all the florals in this collection. I had 2 packs of the ephemera, one from the kit and then one from my little scrapbook store. So I had tons of floral pieces and I'm so happy. I do want to try and get rid of, use this collection as much as I can. Use it to the very end. I love it so much. It's so pretty. So I'm just adding in little floral bits all over the place, sticking different embellishments in here and there, and I just want to adjust this, and I pulled this up and I did rip the cut file, but it's okay, you can't see it, it's underneath the photo. I have this little word die cut up here, and I'm going to get this popped up on some foam adhesive as well. Just kind of fidgeting around with the placement of my embellishments. There are a few little banner pieces in the stickers and also in the ephemera pack. So I'm just going to kind of tuck these in under the photo, and some of them will go directly on, adhere directly on, and then some will be popped up with some foam adhesive. So I believe I put 3 of the little banner pieces under the photo, and some of it I did so that you couldn't see where I had ripped the cut file. So it was kind of like a little cover up, but I do like the way that it looks. I'm also going to pull out some epoxy flare from Scrap and Happy Studio. I end up using 2 epoxy flares on this layout. One of them says awesome and it's in the pink color, and then the other one says, oh goodness, love, I believe it says lovely, and that one I put towards the top, and that one is the orange color in this collection. Here are the wood veneers, and I thought I was going to use this word happy, but I ended up pulling it off and using the word sweet. And I do stick this down with those micro dots, glue dots. Also have this wood veneer XO. I'm going to stick this down here, and I just use my Tombow tape runner to add adhesive to that. Then I'm going to start to add some more florals around the heart. I love these big floral pieces. So I'm just going to tuck that in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some more florals up here at the top. There are some little leaf pieces as well, so I kind of tuck some of those in there around the layout as well. There are a couple half floral pieces. I do like to cut my florals in half, so I must have cut it from a previous project and I left the other half there. There it is right there. It's a really small piece. So I'm going to tuck this in up here at the top on the left as well. Get everything stuck down with some adhesive. And then I'm also going to pull out some buttons from Buttons Galore. I pull out 3 of the blush colored buttons from the Button Basics pack. And then I'm going to tuck them in around the layout as well, just for some more texture and just a different embellishment on the layout. I do use the micro dots to stick these down, and then I use this little pick tool that I have to kind of situate the button, because they are tiny buttons. Just kind of help me get the placement that I really want, and then get that stuck down to the layout really, really well. And then the last thing I do, I believe, is add a couple hearts from the ephemera pack. I had 3 hearts. 2 to the bottom right corner, and then 1 up at the top cluster of the photo. And then that pretty much finishes up the layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this process. I hope you are inspired to back a cut file using either some sequins or some buttons. Just use them in a different way. I really love the texture that these sequins give this heart cut file, and then adding the buttons around the layout as well, almost replacing the enamel dot. So if you have a button stash, get them out, or a sequin stash, get it out and create something fun. I would love to see what you guys create. So if you have a project that is inspired by this layout, I would love for you guys to tag me. Leave me a comment down below and I will come check it out. I will leave all the links down below for you guys so you guys can purchase anything or check out any of these products. Also, I have still shots for you guys at the end. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you head on over to Buttons Galore for the full blog post and also to check out their shop. Have a great day, you guys, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.